I can't believe we have to do another boring project. When are we ever going to have to do this in real life? School stinks. I agree. If you've ever heard these comments from students before when you assign an activity, you are not alone. How do we motivate students to learn in a world that has many digital distractions? Pixton.com can be used to inspire students to express themselves through comics. This is a medium many students are already familiar with. Pixton provides students with the framework to be creative and tell a story in their own perspective. Pixton can be used by students, teachers, businesses, and for people looking to have fun. In terms of education, teachers can organize private classes with a login and profile for each student. Teachers can monitor student work and also control what the students can see and what they can do. Students work on project-based activities. Teachers can create their own projects and upload them through Pixton for the class to see, or teachers can choose a project that is aligned with curriculum standards that's already located on Pixton. Teachers can provide students with feedback on their comics, and when the students are finished, they can be posted on the class homepage and they can be graded. Teachers can upload a rubric or use one that Pixton already has to provide students with quick feedback to let the students know what they need to work on and what areas they need to change. In addition, classmates can evaluate their work and conduct peer evaluations. Comics can be printed, embedded, downloaded on the web, and included in student projects. They are also accessible on interactive whiteboards and on all web browsers, making them very user-friendly. Let's go on a tour of the site to show you how easy it is to use and what students can create. The first thing that you need to do is you need to choose a layout. You can either choose one of these examples where they already cut up the frames for you. You can start from scratch by creating a blank screen and adding in your own frames, or you can choose a template which includes a background and characters already chosen for you. So as you can see, you can differentiate this for all different types of students, all different types of learners, and all different types of ages. This also can be something that the teacher can control through their settings of the class. After that, it's time to start creating. You can add backgrounds, add objects, speech bubbles, people, and customize their expressions, sizes, and colors. It's a user-friendly website that definitely does not have a one-size-fits-all model. Each student will create a different comic based on their own learning. Why do I think this is a successful tool for our future? While many theoretical frameworks apply to this website, I've chosen 3 key theories to explain why this works. At the end of this presentation, you will be able to access the articles on these theories. My first theory is elaboration. Students who are not taught effective learning strategies at a young age often resort to repetition to memorize and remember information. They need to be taught how to think. Their brains need to be trained to not only read and look at information, but also think about that information. When students are provided with a strategy such as creating images to show the information, they have an easier time learning and recalling that information. Therefore, Pixton can be used to provide students with practice on elaboration and practice with their own learning strategies. By creating a comic to show information, they are engaging in higher order thinking skills, and they are creating images that match the information that needs to be processed. When students are asked to critically think about a concept, they are more engaged in their own learning. Next is creativity and motivation, which I think kind of go hand in hand. According to the 6 C's of motivation, when students have choice and control over how they reach their goal, they will be more creative and more motivated to achieve their goal. Pixton also brings in the element of challenge. There's a good chance that students may not be successful on their first time or may not necessarily like the first comic that they make. But this challenge that is creates some internal motivation to create their comic. Last is social constructivism. Students are using Pixton to construct their own meaning and reflect on their own learning. They're learning by doing, and they're showing you what they're learning through the comic. They're using what they know from prior experience to change and adapt what is previously known. In addition to creating their comics, students are evaluating other classmates' projects to provide feedback. Students are learning through others and are going back to edit their own work. This critical analysis of their own work again allows for higher order thinking skills and deeper thought. As you can see, there is theoretical framework which supports the benefits of using Pixton in the classroom. How will I use Pixton? You can use Pixton across all subject areas for all grade levels and all different types of learners. In reading, students can show their comprehension of things that they have read by retelling, sequencing a story, identifying story elements, drawing conclusions, making inferences, identifying point of view and perspective, and also comparing and contrasting. In this example, the student is comparing the different stories that they read and showing their understanding. Just like reading and writing, there are many different ways that students can use Pixton. They can work on their organization by story mapping, by identifying a beginning, a middle, and an end. They can incorporate new vocabulary and word choice. They can work on sentence fluency, making sure that their story flows. They can work on their conventions by adding in correct quotations, grammar, and spelling. And overall ideas, coming up with creative, new, and interesting things to write about. In this example, David is working on finding out more information on Robert Frost. Because he wants to analyze one of his poems and learn more about him, showing how to look up information and incorporate research into his writing. Pixton can also be used across all other subject areas, including world language, math, science, social studies, study skills, social skills, communication. In this example, students are demonstrating their knowledge between what the difference is between area and perimeter, but at the same time, they're also showing elements of writing and reading. So this is kind of something that can be integrated across all different curriculums, which is definitely something that is aligned with state standards. I believe this makes Pixton an effective tool that all teachers can use in their classrooms. If you would like to learn more, you can go to www.pixton.com to play around for yourself, and you can check out these references for more information on the theoretical frameworks.